We're here with CareerPro Resumes, Mr. Jody
Hello.
Crawford. So, Mr. Jody, I just wanted to know from you, what type of people do you help in your resume writing services? Is there a specific industry that you work with, specific type of people? Can you give us a little insight about that, please?
Yes. And the simple answer is we can help everyone, all industries, all levels, entry level, mid range, executive, C-level professionals, blue collar, white collar. We have helped people move up that are already making six figures. We have helped people get to sustainable, livable wages. It's the strategy is the same. You really want to talk about your highlights. You don't want boring job descriptions. You don't want to be too coy. Some executives don't say anything. Everything's very generic. Well, that's great. That's a generic executive resume. If they don't know you, you're in trouble. If they do know you, then great. I guess the resume is not needed. They're going to call you in anyway. But let's say you are an executive going in for a six-figure job in contract negotiation time. Well, how much are they going to pay you? Well, they're going to pay you how much they think you could return. What's their return on their investment? So when we say that a gentleman made increased corporate, he was underpaid at $40,000, and this is not an executive sample, but he was underpaid at $40,000. He's now making $100,000 because I knew as a health club manager he should be making $100,000 like the Bally's Health Club manager right down the street in Sandy Springs. So what we said with him, because he did say that each club, the club that he was managing made $1,000 and that he opened up 2 new clubs with the owner, but I probably didn't need to know that. Well, exactly, after 45 minutes, exactly the information that I needed, because I was asking him, what are the dollar figures, the numbers, the awards, special projects. Finally, he told me I opened up 2 new clubs with the owner. I said, great, this is what we're going to say for you. In your brochure, we're going to say in your bulletin highlights section, increase corporate revenues from $1 to $3 million by opening up 2 new clubs, 2 new health clubs with the owner. And he didn't mail these out. I guess he forgot, got busy. They sat on his desk, and a month later, here comes a health club owner from Kentucky, and he looked at Ted's resumes. He's like, did you do anything with those? No. Can I read it? Yep. He opened it up. He said, very impressive highlights and achievement section. He doubled Ted's base from 40 to 80,000, made him part owner. Ted's making part of the profits. I've had this particular gentleman here was already making over 300,000. He wanted to make more than that as a corporate trainer, public speaker. We helped him do that. Another lady she said 10 years ago she was working retail. She was a new immigrant from the Caribbean. I helped her using her brochure 10 years ago. I helped her go from retail, whatever, 20, 30,000 to 100,000 eventually in banking. She said, now please redo the brochure and all the supporting items. She said, I want the whole package because she had edited it so many times she couldn't recognize the original. She said, because now I want you to help me get the $400,000 job as a financial advisor with the Bank of America. We redid her brochure, cover letter, reference sheet, thank you letter. She submitted it, and she is currently working as financial advisor, making $400,000 at the Bank of America. So yes, we've helped all individuals, all levels. And one gentleman came in here and he said, Jody, and he was a bald guy. And I mentioned bald because he was in the IT field, and this was right before the dot-com bubble burst in '99. He was a top-level IT executive. He came in, and he wasn't just a guy in his 60s. He was a guy in his 60s in the IT field right before the dot-com bubble burst, when they were giving kids out of college millions of dollars to implement their business plan was, let's give you everything away for free on the internet. Well, bad investment. A lot of dot-coms went belly up, and hence the dot-com bubble burst. So, but in the meantime, right before that happened, they thought if you were over 30, you couldn't turn on a computer. Which is only the case with somebody like me, but not with him. He was in his 60s. Well, yeah, he could turn on a computer. He could run your whole department. And he came in here and he had a shiny bald head. He had shiny silver steel rimmed glasses. He had that youthful, vigorous IT look, but he was still too old for the IT field and the worst time to be in your 60s to be in a young person's industry. He said, give me the 20, I'm going to order this whole set. He liked the shiny executive folder. He said, but keep your 24 copies. I just want one. In the entire country, there's only one position I'm shooting for. That's in San Antonio. It's an up and coming hospital in an up and coming city. I want to manage this San Antonio hospital's IT department. I want to be their IT department director. And he sent them out. I said, let me know how it goes, because he was putting all his eggs in one basket. He said, yeah, absolutely. You owe me some thank you letters. He had already ordered. So he called me a week later, do the thank you letters. I said, hey, man, so far so good. Now I'm confident. And I was confident before, but it was either all or nothing. He said, of course I'm going to call you again. He says, I told you I'd do it the first time. I'll do it the second time. A week later, he called me up. He said, Jody, either it was a good job you did with those thank you letters, or the good job he did in the interview that I got him with the resume, but they offered him the job. They're moving him to San Antonio. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later. I'm out of here. And this was in the 90s. He said this was San Antonio reminded him of Atlanta's growth in the 60s. So we can help people from entry level to mid-range to executive. We're not a one-size-fits-all resume factory, and we give you a bigger bang for the buck because you actually get different materials. We can throw in sometimes free cover letters, reference sheets, thank you letters with the fancier packages. And even HR managers have said, Jody, these look better side by side. I like the brochure better, one lady said, because this gives your clients an unfair advantage. They look more sophisticated, and I have a more favorable impression of this candidate than this candidate, even before I start reading them. So she was a client. I had other HR managers come in here. One time we did 75 AT&T resumes one summer. Well, the accounting managers did the brochures, the accountants did the executive folders. Kaiser Permanente, they were downsizing 17 people in one department. The managers that hired me bought the brochures for themselves. They gave their team members the loose sheet resumes. So, a doctor drove in from Birmingham, did the brochure. An attorney drove in from Chattanooga, did the executive folder. Now, why are they driving 4 to 6 hours round trip and closing their offices and losing thousands of dollars because they're highly paid professionals for that particular day off of work? Because they could make tens of thousands of dollars with these new resumes, and our clients have done just that. So whether you're entry-level, mid-range executive, blue-collar, white-collar, whether you have a 1 or 2 page resume, whether you're a student or somebody who just wants their retirement job, we can help you. The main thing is get the best writer, get the best package, get the best price.